Summative will be on Tuesday of next week. Okay? So if you, for us in here, it's not really, actually I shouldn't say that because it's not a Wednesday next week, it's Tuesday next week. So if you are a junior in terms of junior status and have class with Mr. Roth or with me, I think mine is an 11 o'clock yet. If you have, so Mr. Roth or me on Tuesdays, you will probably need to reschedule a time to take your test. It will come in two parts, this test, a calculator part and a non-calculator part. Okay? So there's that. Okay? Talk to your grading teacher, which that's for you guys, that's me. It's your Wednesday teacher if you're joining in on the line. Okay? So we got that going on. But you should get it done prior to Thanksgiving break. Okay? So figure that out. Okay? We are adjusting our homework policy. It's really not an adjustment. We finally are going to what we normally do. If you are getting above an 80% in this class, okay? If you are getting above an 80%, homework is optional for you until you fall below that 80%. Then homework's not optional anymore. Okay? So if you're above an 80%, it's optional. If you're at an 80% or lower, not optional. You got to do it. Okay? If you are above an 80% and you turn in a homework, I'll grade it like normal. Okay? So it gets graded like normal, it goes in the grade book as normal. It can help you out. Okay? If you don't do it, it can hurt you. Okay? Well, let me clarify that. Okay? If you're above an 80% and you don't do it, it won't hurt you. Okay? If you're below an 80% and don't do it, it'll hurt you. And then you'll be farther away from 80%. Okay? Questions on that?
So if we are above the 80%,
Doesn't count. Okay? Doesn't affect you one bit. You get an X in the grade book. Not extra credit, no. It goes in as a normal grade. Okay? All right. Let's do this warm-up. Okay? So there's our 2. Find theta prime for 260 degrees and find 2 coterminal angles, one positive and one negative, for theta is equal to negative 3 pi over 5. So where is 260 degrees? Where? Third quadrant? Closer to the horizontal or closer to the vertical? Closer to the vertical. Yeah, it's down here. Right? Which means how much, or what is the reference, or, yes, theta prime, the reference angle. What is it? 80 degrees. Yep. Reference angle, remember, it's always what we need to get back to the horizontal. Okay? So that's back to 180 degrees. So that puts it at 80. What is the first, and I saw this on a bunch of people on theirs, and they're frantically scribbling it out now and figuring out what they got or how they got wrong. What's the first thing, the first rule about a reference angle? It's what? It's less than 90. Okay? It's got to be an acute angle. I saw many obtuse angles in there. Okay? As I was walking around. Okay? It's got to be less than 90. Coterminal angles. Let's get some positive coterminal angles here now. Give me one positive. You just answered the last one. positive coterminal angle? 7 pi over 5. Do we agree?
Yeah.
17 pi over 5.
That's how I did that.
Would that be another one? 27 pi over 5. 37 pi over 5. 47 pi over 5. All those coterminal angles. Okay? Give me a negative one.
13 pi over 5.
What do you got?
13 pi over 5. Negative 13.
Negative 13 pi over 5? That I like better? Because that one's actually negative. Negative 23 pi over 5. Yes, ma'am. Sure. Help to go around a unit circle or to go around the circle. How many radians? 2 pi, right? Okay. Excuse me. 2 pi, correct? Okay. So if I want to go, if I'm over 5, what would 2 pi be with a denominator of 5? 10 pi over 5, right? So there's always got to be a gap of 10 pi over 5. Okay? So negative 3 pi over 5, we'll deal with the negative ones first. Negative 3 minus 10 is negative 13. That's why it's negative 13 pi over 5. Negative 13 minus 10 is negative 23. Negative 23 pi over 5. And so on and so forth. Okay? Negative 3 plus 10 is 7. That's where the 7 pi over 5 came from. And then there's a gap of 10 every time. Okay? No problem. Next warm-up problem here. Find me the sine, the cotangent, and theta. Here's where calculators are going to come in. If cosine of theta is negative. Good on that last one? If cosine of theta is negative 3/4 and tangent is positive. All right. Which quadrant?
3.
Which quadrant?
3.
Which quadrant?
3 and 2.
2 and
3.
3.
Oh.
Which quadrants?
1 and 3.
Sorry.
Right? So where is theta?
3.
Quadrant 3. So draw yourself a quadrant 3 angle. Yes? Okay. Reference angle comes off the horizontal, correct?
Correct.
So this is going to be theta prime. What else is what?
Negative 3 would be
Hypotenuse is what? Vertical or horizontal is 3.
negative 3 horizontal.
Horizontal is negative 3. Hypotenuse is 4. That's a bad 4. What's my vertical then?
Negative
Square root of 7. But it would really be negative square root of 7 because we're in quadrant 3. Right? Questions on that?
How do you get negative square root of 7?
How do I get negative square root of 7? Great question. Okay? So if I've got 4 squared, that's got to equal negative 3 squared plus, we'll call it y squared. 16 equals 9 plus y squared. 7 equals y squared. Y equals the square root of 7. But because we're in quadrant 3, we're going to make it be negative. If you made it positive, that's fine.
It'll
What? That's fine. But I used Y because it was my vertical. That's the only reason. Okay? Sine. Sine of theta is?
Negative square root of 7 over 4.
Because it's opposite over hypotenuse. Cotangent.
3 over the square root of 7.
Okay, so positive, right? Right?
Yeah.
Because cotangent is adjacent over opposite. Yes, sir.
Which one would you rather on a test?
We'll tell you.
Okay.
I see them both.
Okay.
Theta. Ooh, so now here we got to do some figuring, right? Okay. So yesterday we had that theta prime was equal to the inverse tangent of the square root of 7 over 3. Y over x. Yes? Which is 41.4096 degrees. Because I'm in quadrant 3, add 180 to it. So I get 221.41. Yes?
All right.
Love it. All right. So we are now on, we got our last part of 4.2. So we've got two. So the last topic that we have to talk about in 4.2 is angles of elevation and angles of depression. Okay? It's exactly how it sounds. Okay? An angle of elevation means that you are looking up at something. Okay? So if I'm standing here, I'm looking out the window, I see that cell tower over there. I'm looking up at it. That's an angle of elevation. Okay? That's what an angle of elevation means. An angle of depression is looking down on something. Okay? So again, I'm standing up here, looking out the window. I'm looking down at that brown pickup truck. Okay? So I'm looking down. That's my angle of depression. The kicker is both angles of elevation and angles of depression are off the horizontal. Now, my angle of depression to that pickup truck is the same as the pickup truck's angle of elevation to me. I'll say that again. My angle of depression to the pickup truck is the same as the pickup truck's angle of elevation to me. So, okay. So let's say that this is a cliff. let's say Mrs. Linsmeyer is standing on top of the cliff. I'm standing at the bottom of the cliff. Okay. This would be my angle of elevation. This would be her angle of depression. Has to come off the horizontal. That doesn't mean that it is inside the triangle. We can make the triangle. Okay. You can just rewrite, make the triangle come up here, down here. Then, but only one of the two, one of the pair is inside the triangle. Okay. Looks like there's more to this slide. It's not. Okay. A tree casts a shadow. Now this should be on the back side. Okay. It's goofy because the word problem practice, the notes are on the back side of your green sheet for today. What number are we on? Number one? Number one. Okay. A tree casts a shadow 60 feet long when the angle of elevation of the sun is 23 degrees 0 minutes. Find the height of the tree. Okay. Well, it's not going to hurt you to draw yourself a picture. Tree casts a shadow. Where's the shadow located? No, where's the shadow located? On the ground, right? Okay. So this is 60 feet. Angle of elevation is, well, which one is it? Ground up or tree down? Ground up. Elevation is up. What do we want to find? The height of the tree, right? What do you want to use? Tangent? Tangent of 23 degrees 0 minutes is equal to the opposite side over the adjacent side. Yes? Do that one first. We'll do number 5 first.
We'll do number 4 then. Is that it? Yeah. Oh, blank. Yep, that's number 4. Yep, do number 4.
Like, attempted drawing an airplane. That one's 15 degrees, right? Because it comes off the horizontal. This one's 610. Which side length am I looking for? Black or red? Looking for red. Because it said directly from the plane to that point on the ground. What do we want to use? Sine? Okay. Because what else is 15? This one down here, right? Yeah. So then we could say that the sine of 15 degrees is equal to 610 over x. So what's wrong with it?
Oh, it was just to show on your board, but it says on the bottom of it, like, the 2,357 meters. Is that like specific black line?
No. That's the answer. Questions, comments, concerns, clarification. Back to the one we skipped. From the hill, 27 meters above the river. Angles of depression to the banks of the river are that and that. Find the width of the river to the nearest meter. Ooh, this is a good one. Good one. Let's get it all set up. Okay? So we are up here on top of a hill. Right? Down here is a river. There. And there. We know that that hill is 27 meters. Yes? Make it happen. Find me the width of the river.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, because you have
So it would technically be here, which is what you're saying. It would technically be because you would draw the opposite triangle of that. And just aim it right here. This would be that's always how I do it.
This is like you're going to do so much. So maybe at the same time you have to do it one.
29.5.7 minus 19.991 gets me, so then the width of my river would be x minus y, because that would give me a positive number, and that gives me 9.526 meters. Again, this stuff will be on your test come Tuesday.